What's up, peeps? So you guys just get the new Battlefield 6 Redsec Battle Royale mode, and you're wondering what the best settings for that on console is? Well, let's jump right into this video. So starting off for the accessibility, we're not going to use any of the ones right here. We're going to show you later, but we're going to go into this one, to the graphics and quality settings. We're going to go into color profiles, and this is going to make all your enemies pop up significantly more in all the colors in your world. So this one right here, we're going to go to the color presets. It's going to be set to the default one. We're going to go all the way to custom, and this is going to allow you to customize each and every one of them. So for each and every one, what you're going to do is to jump into the player color, and it's going to be usually set here to the middle. And all you're going to do is move it all the way to the top, and this is going to make it the same color that it is, but just a little bit more saturated. And you're going to do that with every single one. Also, if you want to change colors, anything like that, you can do that here. We're going to go back, and after this, we don't have any other ones. All the other ones, I'm going to show you where they are. So next up, we're going to go into the gameplay settings here, and none of these we're going to touch, but we're going to go here into this one, the hold and toggle. We're going to hit into this one. For the infantry sprint, leave it at this. This is the one that you want to turn on, double tap forward to sprint, especially in the Redsec mode where you're just running all the time. This just basically means if you double tap your left button forward, just move it forward twice, then your dude will start running automatically. This is something we want. Crouch, toggle, sprint, you must have this one on, and this allows you that if you are in the crouch position and you start sprinting, your dude will run while crouched, which is actually pretty cool. Crouch slide, leave that on. A double tap crouch for sprint slide, turn this one off. If you have this one on, you have to press crouch 2 times to slide, which I don't know why it's there, but go ahead and turn this one off. Every other one's go ahead and turn on off. And this right here, the steady scope, I recommend you to have it on toggle. That means that whenever you're aiming down a sniper, instead of holding to hold your breath, you just hit that hold your breath once, and it already holds your breath. And it's a lot easier to aim, especially if you are on console. And next up here, the interact and reload, also very, very important. Remember to have this on prioritize reload. It's going to be in this one right here. Prioritize reload, that means that if you are standing over a bunch of weapons or crates or things that you want to pick up, and you press square, it's going to reload, and you have to hold something on the ground to pick it up. It just always makes it significantly easier. And then all these ones, just leave it as it is. Next up here, all these ones, we're going to leave it as it is. And then all these infantry settings, the aiming sensitivity settings, I'm going to go over in a little bit. But for this one, the parachute out of deploy, this is where you switch it up. So the one that by default is skydiving insertions. That means that whenever you are skydiving in, your parachute will open automatically. But if you jump off a building, it will not open automatically. If you guys want it always on, go ahead and move this one to the right. And that means that whenever you have a chance, it will always auto-deploy your parachute. But I like to have this one off like that. And then the roll, you can actually roll. If you are a little bit high off a building, once you're falling down, just hold X or your jump button, and you will do a roll, kind of like a parkour roll on the bottom. If you don't want that animation, then just turn it off. And here we got that interact reload as well. And then all these ones, again, we're going to take a look a little bit in another section right here. So next up, let's go to the HUD. And all these ones we're going to leave exactly as it is, except this one. Go into the advanced HUD and icon settings. The big map opacity, I reduced this a little bit. You can show the kills on your feed. So you can show everybody's kills, just your squad kills. I like to have it nice and clean, so I like to keep squad kills on this one just like that. And then everything else is going to be exactly the same. But at the bottom right here, you can actually change the objective icons. So you can make them a little bit bigger. Your friendly icons as well, you can make this a little bit bigger. What I would recommend is go all the way to the bottom to this one right here, the enemy icons. Make the enemy icons just a little bit bigger. That means that whenever one of your teammates or somebody spots an enemy, that red point is going to be a lot bigger, and it's easier to spot them after that. And this one right here, if you want, you can go change the aim-based icons to these ones right here. Next up, below this one, we got the minimap size, and it is going to be set to small, but go ahead and set this to large. Definitely your minimap is one of your biggest allies in the game. Everything else here, you can leave it as it is. And then here we got your crosshair settings. So here you can change the intensity, actually move it all the way to the right if you want the color more intense. And you can select the color of the crosshairs as well, and the thickness as well, and the infantry crosshair projection, turn this one off. If you have it off, that means that whether you're vaulting, jumping, whatever it is, your crosshairs will always remain in the middle of your screen. And here you can change the hit indicators, which again, this is just your personal preference, but I've got my headshot colors to red, my kill color to purple, and if I hit armor plates or anything like that, it is green. Again, you can change it to whatever color you want. And all the way here at the bottom at the HUD, you can change also the chat. So the chat background opacity, I reduced this one. And you can go here into chat settings and you can change it, like the position that you want the chat and everything like that. This is where you can customize that, again, to your personal preference. Now, let's go into controller. Very, very important. You hit triangle. Let's go to the first one, the controller settings right here. The infantry aim, I do have it at 30. Well, let me just switch it to 35. This is going to depend. I do play on linear. If your infantry input curve is on linear, copy my settings. If you play on standard, then go ahead and increase that sensitivity a little bit. But what I'm going to recommend here is field of view at 109. I think this one's a great. 120 because you're doing a lot of long-range gunfights. It's going to be way too much in the distance. Here we're going to have uniform aiming on, and for the vertical aim ratio, keep it at 56.3. The zoom coefficient, keep it at 47.9. And next up for the aim assist, the only one I reduced was this one. The infantry aim assist slowdown, reduced that a little bit. You got your infantry input curve here, and if you guys didn't know, with the update, they just added dynamic, which I'm going to be making a specific video about it, but they added dynamic if you guys want to check it out, and you've got how all the curves work here on the right-hand side. Here you got your aiming left and right acceleration. Again, I play on linear, so I like to have this at 8. The movement here, a lot of these are the same from the other section that we just changed. Here you can change your sprint, so you can actually just make it that where if you move forward, you start sprinting, but I don't like that. But again, if you want to change it, you can change it there. And here we got the aim sensitivity settings. So for the infantry zoom, I've got it at 80, and then these are the values I have for all my other scopes. So you can copy these. Something that I recommend is just copy my settings, and if you feel it's a little bit fast or slow, all you have to do is change this one or the specific sensitivity of your scope. And if we go all the way to the top, change this one. But all the other ones leave as it is. Just change this one or the zoom sensitivity. Then we're going to go back on this one. And here for the mapping is where you can change certain things. And this is where I change my L1, R1 to firing and the other one. So for example, here my fire and zoom is going to be R1, L1, but just make sure that whenever you change this, you want to have your R1, your R2 and L2. Remember to switch this ones up as well. Here in the ground vehicles, again, here's where you can customize all the buttons that you want for the ground vehicles, whatever you want, and just depending on what. And here at the bottom is where we got the controller tuning. So this is where we go into the, you can set the vibration if you want it minimal, if you want it immersive, whatever you want. The intensity of the vibration, that's personal preference. The adaptive triggers, I have this one at 0, and here's where you have your dead zones. I made a video specifically on how to find your own dead zones, which I'll put it right now on the screen if you haven't checked it out, but these are my dead zone settings. Now after this one, we're going to go back out here. We don't have a mouse and keyboard, so we're going to go into graphics. Now this one for the performance presets, I recommend you have it on auto. That means that you will have a better FPS. For the world brightness, reduce it a little bit because sometimes when you're indoors looking outdoors, it's just way too bright. Sharpness, I reduced this a little bit. Field of view, we already talked about this. All this world motion blur and all that, turn it all the way to the bottom. You don't want your screen moving like it's a goddamn earthquake. Chromatic aberration, also have this one off, vignette off, and film grain off. These are the graphic settings, everything you can change for the PlayStation. Now if we go into audio here, the master volume, just reduced it a little bit. Music volume as well, reduced it a little bit right here. Here the sound system, I tried a couple different ones, but I still find that the headphones, again, if you play on headphones, this is the best one for that one. Here you can change the voice chat volume if people are talking too loud. If you want open mic or no open mic, you can choose all those settings right here. This one right here as well, reduce it. This effect is whenever you hear like a flashbang or those really like the ee sort of sound, this is what that one does. So again, you want to hear it a little bit, but just reduce it because you also don't want it your ears bleeding. And then here for the radio music, I've got that off. I don't want to hear no radio music. And then here in everything else, you got some of the things that you showed on the other one. Your scoreboard ping, this is something that's off, but if you want, just go ahead and set that one to on, and it'll show you your ping in the scoreboard. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the best settings for console for Battlefield 6 on Redsec mode. Let me know down below in the comments if you have any questions. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next one.